immediately. So we have an incredible opportunity here with education, along with a couple of the pieces of water. I think what we need is we need to get the premier together with all of the post-secondary players at all levels, business and the rest, put their heads together and say, look at some of the examples that exist in the world in Germany where you have that close integration, that somebody at Mercedes or whatever else wants to know that the person that they're looking to have work for them for 20, 30 years or whatever else is trained in methods and whatever else that they want. And they don't want huge transition gaps where somebody comes out of a post-secondary environment and goes through 7, 8, 9 jobs and all of this disruption for a number of years. That's a loss in productivity. This seems to me a failed opportunity. This is a policy opportunity here. Unfortunately, we live in a world with governments in place for 4 or 5 years at a time. You have to constantly go back to the electorate to be re-elected and can't get policies together that say, we need the bigger picture here. We need to look at 5, 10, 15 years. Where do we want to be? And go after these opportunities. You know, we do things very well in education, but we tend to stay so close to our knitting that we're missing the bigger pictures, and I believe the Australias and others of the world are going to pass us by if we're not careful in these other opportunities.
And I share
Can I just interrupt for 1 second? Only because he said we're on a 10-minute wrap. Like, no one's said what seminars they went to, so can we just give a slight feedback?
That was mine.
Okay, fine. and
This goes into this very easily. You went to elementary, they went into...
What I didn't hear was what I was hoping, somewhat, except for Sheldon Levy, who came closest with e-learning. I didn't hear more about how we take this and from a policy side, turn this into something that we can use for the benefit of Ontarians, Canadians, and the world. That's where
Are you looking at that as a commodity?
I think that was more a financial thing that they were talking about when the guy from Kinsey was talking this morning. The financial benefits for Ontarians by going outside and taking our universities outside and bringing those students in. Not necessarily bringing them into Ontario, but having our institutions in their own country but operated from Ontario.
Don't look at
Space.
it. Yeah.
Space issue.
As I listen to all of this, one of the concerns I have, both listening to the fellow from to Dominic this morning from Kinsey and what your reflection on your session, is this whole notion of commodification of education. I have a problem with that. I can't clearly articulate what my issue is, but I see it as such a fundamental right that
You don't want it Walmart.
I don't want. I don't. I really don't.
I agree with
and
you.
I mean,
agree with
I have some knowledge of that kind of approach to education, and it's kind of sad. For example, there was one jurisdiction in the Caribbean where in the schools there were the teachers were so poorly paid that in order to supplement their income, they taught in the evenings.
Yeah.
And what you end up having is a situation where during the day you have one thing being taught, but if you really want to get ahead, you went and paid the same teacher to teach you in the evening. And education, like healthcare, like the water we drink, the air we breathe, those are fundamental. Those are fundamental things that as human beings, as societies, we need to have. And when you commodify them, make them commodities, I'm not so comfortable.
I ask just one question.
Yeah.
Do we want 15 years from now, the education model that we're using right now, which is largely based on 10 to 15 or 20 years ago, is that what we want?
No, we don't. And that should not be that way. It has to change.
Time